Which one are we doing first? Too many frogs.
Yeah, I'm gonna start with way too many frogs for Bradshaw because he had to share that one right away.
Yeah,
they're all so good. Like you go through, and you're
that
like,
one.
I know you do, buddy.
I love the fast scarecrow. I love Werner Herzog's In My Bed or whatever the fuck.
Oh,
some of these artworks are
the
fucking
Bigfoot
awesome
lawyer.
too.
Bigfoot lawyer was awesome.
Yep.
Painbow, like that artwork is amazing.
We'll get to him.
So many good ones.
We'll get to them.
There were other ones, but I just picked the ones I liked the best, essentially.
Okay. Dire hydrant. There's one on every block.
Okay, well, welcome to this episode. We're going to be AI boys tonight. We're going to be generating our own synopsis of these fake Goosebumps books that Bradshaw actually shared with us. And I'm sure they were made through some kind of AI generating algorithm like a Stable Diffusion or like a DALL-E. But we're going to just jump through here. And I use the word jump because we're talking about frogs. Way too many of them. They're hopping.
I think they just like generated the image and then just like put the Goosebumps frame on top of it.
Okay.
How I think that worked.
And so we're going to be generating from ChatGPT a synopsis of this book. So I'm going to give it a little write-up here. You guys can't see what I'm doing, but I will be writing. All right. It's generating me a synopsis right now, and I will be posting this in our Discord.
I'm trying one on my own to see how it's going.
All right. Here is Way Too Many Frogs. And Bradshaw, if you want to do the honors with this one.
Of course. Way Too Many Frogs is a middle-grade horror comedy novel inspired by the popular Goosebumps series. The story follows 12-year-old Lily, who has just moved to a new town with her family. Lily loves animals and excited to explore the local pond to find new species to add to her collection. However, she quickly discovers that the pond is infested with frogs, and not just a few frogs, but thousands of them. At first, Lily thinks it's just a coincidence, but soon the frogs start appearing everywhere. In her backyard, in her house, even in her bed. Lily's parents think she's exaggerating, but Lily knows something strange is going on. With the help of her new friend Max, Lily starts investigating and discovers that a local scientist has been conducting experiments on the frogs, which has caused them to multiply uncontrollably. As the number of frogs continues to grow, Lily and Max realize that they need to stop the scientist before the frogs take over the entire town. But the scientist is one step ahead of them, and Lily and Max find themselves in a dangerous situation as they try to put an end to the frog infestation. In Way Too Many Frogs, author J.K. Hirsch takes readers on a wild and humorous adventure filled with unexpected twists and turns. The book is sure to delight young readers who enjoy spooky and funny stories with a dash of science fiction.
What was the name again? J.K. Hirsch?
Yeah, it sounds like a pen name for R.L. Stein.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, at first I was like, did he say Hearse? Because if it's Stein Hearse, that's cool.
That'd be great.
So I was looking at the image the whole time you're reading that.
Yeah.
It works perfectly because in that picture, the male guy sitting there, maybe that's Max.
Yeah.
And he's surrounded by all these frogs, and in the background is what was her name? Penny?
Lily frog.
Maybe that's
or lily pad. So
lily pad.
Lily. Yeah. Oh.
But that's her obscured in the background, and they're in the scientist's house, like investigating, and they're surrounded by all these frogs.
Get ready to be hopping mad.
Max has too many fingers, and he's like pensive and maybe a little scared.
Well, mad scientist. Like, oh, that's so cool. It works on so many levels. I like it.
Yeah.
All right, we got to choose the next one. There are a lot.
So do you want to hear? I did one just to see what my result would be. Do you want to see what that is?
Which one did you generate?
I did Suing Bigfoot because I hadn't looked at that image previously. So when you mentioned it,
won't be a civil trial.
Do you want to hear the story?
I like how his fur coat is also like a suit jacket for some reason.
He put on another jacket of fur.
Yes, let's hear some Suing Bigfoot.
Yeah.
Okay. One moment.
Oh, these are great.
Do you want to read this one again, Eric, or I can?
Yeah, I can read. I'll be a read boy.
Post it in chat.
I have no problem being a read boy. All right. So this is for Suing Bigfoot.
Just for reference, my prompt that I gave it, I just said, write a Goosebumps story based on the title, quote, Suing Bigfoot.
All right. So, once upon a time, there was a small town nestled in the heart of a dense forest. The people of this town were friendly, and they lived in harmony with the creatures that roamed the woods. One day, a group of hikers stumbled upon a mysterious creature that resembled a giant, hairy ape. The creature was startled and ran away, leaving the hikers bewildered and intrigued. The story of the hikers' encounter with the creature, which they believed to be Bigfoot, soon spread throughout the town. Some people were excited about the prospect of Bigfoot living in their town, while others were skeptical. However, one person in particular was furious. A man named Mr. Johnson. Mr. Johnson was a wealthy businessman who owned a large piece of land in the forest. He was convinced that the existence of Bigfoot would ruin his business, and he decided to take matters into his own hands. He hired a team of lawyers and decided to sue Bigfoot for causing him financial losses. The townspeople were shocked by Mr. Johnson's actions, but he was determined to win his case. Set, and both sides presented their arguments in front of the judge. The defense team argued that Bigfoot was a peaceful creature that had never caused any harm to humans, while Mr. Johnson's lawyers claimed that Bigfoot's existence was damaging to his business. The judge listened carefully to both sides of the argument and then made his decision. He ruled in favor of Bigfoot, stating that there was no evidence that the creature had caused any harm to humans or businesses. Mr. Johnson was furious and he stormed out of the courtroom. As he made his way back to his home, Mr. Johnson heard a rustling in the bushes. He turned to see Bigfoot standing in front of him, staring down at him with his piercing eyes. Mr. Johnson froze in fear, and then suddenly, the creature vanished into thin air. From that day on, Mr. Johnson was never seen again. Some people say that he was taken by Bigfoot as revenge for his attempt to sue the creature, while others believe that he simply disappeared into the forest. One thing is for sure, town never forgot the story of the man who tried to sue Bigfoot.
Oh, that's cool. Well, I have one ready to go right now. If you guys want me to read it for you, I want this one to be a surprise. Okay.
I love that, like, the image. It's got Bigfoot. That suit jacket fur coat thing is fucking so good. But like, maybe that's Mr. Johnson behind him. He's like, I don't like him existing. And yeah, the fact that it says it won't be a civil trial, the way they're being uncivil is just by turning around and not giving Bigfoot the like.
Yeah, such a thing that are turned around. I never noticed that. Stop looking.
They're like, we're not gonna look at him. Just turn around, everybody.
I did that to an opening band at a concert one time because they were terrible and their guitar player got really pissed off and flipped us off. It was pretty cool.
I have. Oh.
Okay, I'm ready for mine.
Okay.
So it just at the start it just says which one I'm generating, but you'll be very happy. Okay.
Is it Germans?
Hold on. Ham is a middle-aged grade horror comedy novel inspired by popular Goosebumps series. The story follows 12-year-old Alex, who is excited to start middle school and join the wrestling team. But his plans are derailed when he discovers that his family has adopted a pot-bellied pig named Ham. I like this. At first, Alex is annoyed with Ham, who seems to get into everything and cause chaos in their home. But then strange things start happening around Ham. Alex begins to suspect that the pig might be more than just an ordinary pet. Ham seems to have a strange power over people, causing them to act out of character and even become violent. As Alex investigates, he uncovers a dark secret about Ham's origins. The pig was once used in a government experiment to create a super intelligent animal, and now Ham has the ability to control people's minds. Alex realizes that he needs to stop Ham before the pig takes over the entire town. But as he tries to get rid of Ham, he discovers that the pig has powerful allies who will stop at nothing to protect their creation. Alex finds himself in a dangerous situation as he battles not only Ham, but also the people behind the experiment. In Ham, author L.E. Jones delivers a suspenseful and humorous tale that will keep readers on the edge of their seats. With its mix of horror and comedy, the book is perfect for young readers who enjoy spooky and funny stories, with a touch of science fiction.
R.L. Stein is just quartering the fucking pen names with fucking abbreviations.
Yeah, the consistency of the two-letter abbreviated name, and then the last name is amazing. Wait, S-T-I-N-E.
It has the same ending, too. The book is sure to delight young readers who enjoy spooky and funny stories with a dash of science fiction. That's how fucking... that's how Way Too Many Frogs ended, too.
Wow. What? Hirsch. Nope. Okay.
But, yeah, I liked the synopsis. It's a interesting tale. Like, I liked how... in the picture, it's just a ham on a plate. And it says...
ham on a plate.
It's spiral cut.
There's ham too, also.
I know. I saw that. That's why I might want to generate another one saying like, "All right, now ChatGPT, write a sequel to Ham."
Right.
But the descent into madness with this Alex maybe uncovering these dark secrets about Ham's origins. He's going down that spiral path. That's why it's spiral cut. Who knows?
Yep.
There's some pottery there. But yeah, that was an interesting one. Eric, do you want us to do one of yours? Do you have one you want us to do?
I want suddenly clams.
Okay.
There's too many good ones, but
there's spooky buckets.
It was either suddenly clams or Viking on the playground. It was one of those two.
Okay.
I had the Dolly AI make a few images.
I like the one where he's on the stand with his foot propped up on
Focused.
Bomblet.
In front of him too.
I like bomblet.
Where he's like Wizard of Oz floating above them too.
Yeah, that's like the part that's interesting to me about the story that was generated is that Mr. Johnson takes issue not with like Bigfoot being on his land or anything like that. It's his existence. It's the conceptual idea that he actually exists. That he's like, I'm fucking suing him.
I like that all like the dudes, the lawyers are like sitting on tables and shit too.
Yeah,
like there's that's like the one above focused. Where he's sitting there explaining, and there's like the lawyers just sitting on this table, just looking at him like fancy.
If that's how law worked, it would be amazing. And just because it has like in the word or like in the prompt, they put shoes on the floor in a couple images.
Yep,
it's wonderful.
Okay, I am going to generate the suddenly clams. Unless Wilson already did it.
I've got another story.
Okay, hold on.
Cool.
I will generate this one.
Yeah, when we're ready for it.
Give me them clams. Suddenly clams. Suddenly clams. Fucking microwave coven fucking tickles me.
Microwave coven. That one was good because I love the pun.
Yep. Fast scarecrows. The little fucking saying is, "Man, he's booking it."
Man,
yeah. Sometimes the visual is what helps sells it too. Because if you just said microwave coven without seeing that image,
yeah, like clowns in the fridge. The little caption is "Close it, close it, close it." Oh,
the one for werewolves ate my sandwich. Like can't stand it.
Yep.
Those are such good AI wolves.
Fucking, I just love the simplicity. Like, I really laughed hard when I saw just fucking Germans.
Germans.
This made me laugh so hard.
All right, for problemers.
All right, Racho, and there's going to be also a fun little bonus for you for this one because I said,
But
after I made it generate that Suddenly Clams, I said write a quick chapter from Suddenly Clams. So I will give you.
All right.
I will give you chapter 3.
Okay. Suddenly Clams is a middle grade horror comedy novel inspired by the popular Goosebumps series. The story follows 12-year-old Ava, who is excited to spend her summer vacation at her family's beach house. She loves collecting seashells and exploring the tide pools, but when Ava discovers a strange clam that seems to be following her, her vacation takes a terrifying turn. At first, Ava thinks it's just her imagination, but then she starts to notice that the clam is growing larger and more menacing. The clam seems to have a life of its own and is determined to get closer to Ava. As the clam continues to pursue her, Ava discovers that it is not alone. The beach is filled with strange and dangerous creatures, all of them seemingly under control of the clam. Ava realizes that she needs to find a way to stop the clam before it takes over the entire beach. With the help of her new friend Jonah, Ava uncovers a dark secret about the beach and the creatures that live there. She discovers that a local scientist has been experimenting with marine life and his creations have gone out of control. Always with the local scientists experimenting on the creatures.
Just the local
Ava and Jonah find themselves in a dangerous situation as they try to stop the scientist and his creations. And Suddenly Clams, author M.K. Lee delivers a suspenseful and humorous tale that will keep readers on the edge of their seats. With its mix of horror and comedy, this book is perfect for young readers who enjoy spooky and funny stories with a touch of science fiction. God damn it, it always ends with that.
It always begins, too, with like it's like, these come out almost like they're pitches, where it's like,
Yeah.
So this is going to be, horror comedy story based on, inspired by Goosebumps.
Yep. All right. Chapter 3, The Clam is Watching. Ava woke up. Whoa.
I just had to.
Ava woke up.
More. Sorry.
That's all good. Ava woke up early the next morning, eager to explore the beach. Put on her swimsuit, grabbed her bucket and shovel, and headed down to the water's edge. As she started to collect seashells, Ava noticed something out of the corner of her eye. It was the clam from yesterday, and it seemed to be watching her. Ava tried to ignore it and continued collecting seashells, but she couldn't shake the feeling that the clam was following her. She turned around, and there it was, still watching her with its beady eyes. Ava started to feel uneasy. She had never seen a clam behave like this before. It was almost as if the clam was alive and had a mind of its own. It is, but suddenly the clam started to move. It slowly crawled towards Ava, leaving a trail in the sand. Ava backed away, but the clam kept coming closer, its shell opening and closing menacingly. Ava realized that she was in danger. She turned and ran back to the beach house as fast as she could, with a clam following close behind. When Ava reached the house, she slammed the door shut and leaned against it, trying to catch her breath. She looked out the window and saw the clam still crawling towards the house. Ava knew she had to do something to stop the clam. She remembered reading about clams in her science class and knew that they were sensitive to changes in temperature. She quickly came up with a plan. Ava went to the kitchen and filled the pot with water. She then turned on the stove and heated the water until it was boiling. She took the pot outside and dumped the hot water on the clam. Clam let out a loud hiss and closed its shell tightly. Ava knew that she had succeeded in stopping it. But as she looked out at the beach, Ava realized that the clam was not alone. There were dozens of other strange creatures crawling out of the water, and they all seemed to be watching her.
That's cute. I like that.
That's the least threatening thing in the world is a little mollusk.
A little clam with
Just a little
eyes.
girl boiling a pot of water and running outside to dump it on a clam.
Take this!
Take this, clam. Now I got dinner.
Yeah. The thing slowly crawling towards her, opening and closing, like,
It's like it was alive and had a mind of its own. It is. Clams are alive, yes.
You add a couple, like, teeth in places that don't belong, maybe, like, a body, and then, like, slightly diseased person who, like, tells you about it. And that's something out of World of Horror.
Yeah.
That it just reminds me of that game. It's got that kind of, like, weird vibe to it.
Right.
Right. I didn't write. I had the chat GPT write a story about the tiniest werewolf.
Oh, cute.
Just look at him.
Just look at him.
It's kind of
good. Oh my god, look at him.
Look at it!
All right. Tiniest werewolf. It was the night of the full moon, and 13-year-old Max was feeling restless. He couldn't shake the feeling that something was off. His parents were out of town, and he was home alone. Max decided to watch a horror movie to take his mind off things, but little did he know that he was about to experience something far scarier than anything on the screen. As the movie ended, Max heard a strange noise coming from outside. It sounded like a dog howling, but there was something different about it. Max's curiosity got the best of him, and he decided to investigate. Grabbed a flashlight and headed outside. As Max stepped into his backyard, he saw a small furry creature darting around in the shadows. Shone his flashlight on it, and to his surprise, he realized it was a tiny werewolf. The creature was no bigger than a house cat and had bright green eyes that glowed in the darkness. Max couldn't believe what he was seeing. He'd always thought that werewolves were supposed to be big and terrifying, but this one was the size of a chihuahua. As Max approached the creature, it started to growl and bare its tiny fangs. Suddenly, Max felt a sharp pain in his leg. He looked down to see that the tiny werewolf had bitten him. Max tried to shake the creature off, but it clung to him like a tick. Max felt his body begin to change, and he realized that he was turning into a werewolf too. But something was different about Max's transformation. Whoop. Instead of growing bigger and more powerful, it was getting smaller and smaller. Max watched in horror as he shrank down to the size of the tiny werewolf that had bitten him. Now, Max was stuck in his backyard, trapped as the tiniest werewolf. He howled for help, but his voice was too weak to be heard. As the night wore on, Max realized that he was not alone. There were other tiny werewolves, just like him, lurking in the shadows, and they were hungry. Max tried to run, but he was too small and weak to defend himself. The other tiny werewolves closed in, their green eyes glowing in the darkness. Max knew that he had to find a way to break the curse and turn back into a human before it was too late. Days turned into weeks, and Max was still trapped as the tiniest werewolf. He had to fight for his life every night against the other tiny werewolves. But one night, something changed. The moon was full, and Max felt his body begin to change again. This time, he grew bigger and stronger until he was back to his normal size. Max had broken the curse, but he knew that he would never forget his terrifying experience as the tiniest werewolf. From that day on, he never took the full moon for granted and always kept an eye out for the smallest of creatures lurking in the shadows. Look at those tiny little boys. The fucking second from bottom one, I don't trust him at all.
Okay, I generated one because, Goosebumps has those kind of bizarre images on their, the cover sells those books most of the time. And I saw the one at the very end where it was Bumble McRumble.
Yep.
And the Petals of Power.
Something like that.
So I had it generate Bumble McRumble and the Petals of Power. So
hell yeah.
For your reading pleasure, go ahead and read Bumble McRumble.
Bumble McRumble and the Petals of Power. It's a middle-grade fantasy adventure novel inspired by the popular Goosebumps series. The story follows Bumble, a small pink puffy monster with a love for adventure, discovers a magical flower with the power to grant wishes. I think he actually is small and pink. Living in a world where monsters and humans coexist, Bumble dreams of going on an adventure, but is often underestimated due to his cute appearance. One day, while exploring the nearby woods, he stumbles upon a beautiful flower unlike anything he has ever seen before. When he picks the flower, he discovers that it has the power to grant wishes. Excited about his newfound discovery, Bumble starts making wishes left and right, but soon he realizes that every wish comes with a price. He starts to worry about the consequences of his actions. As Bumble struggles to control his wishes, he also discovers that he's not the only one who knows about the flower. A powerful sorcerer is also after the petals of the flower, hoping to use them for his own evil purposes. With the help of his friends, including a courageous human girl named Lily and a loyal dog named Rufus, Bumble sets out on a dangerous quest to protect the petals of power and stop the sorcerer from getting his hands on them. Along the way, Bumble and his friends encounter a variety of strange creatures and face many challenges. They have to use their wits and bravery to overcome obstacles and stay one step ahead of the sorcerer. In Bumble McRumble and the Petals of Power, author S.J. Collins delivers a thrilling and magical adventure that will keep readers on the edge of their seats. With its mix of fantasy and adventure, the book is perfect for young readers who enjoy a story full of magic, wonder, and danger, as well as those who love cute and cuddly monsters.
Aww.
Wow, you got a different ending.
Dude, S.J. Collins is such a good author name. Like, that's such a good pen name.
Right?
Collins.
Did you put in that he was pink and puffy? Tyler?
What?
Did you put in that he was pink and puffy?
In my yeah.
Oh,
I had
cool,
I had it generate me one where it's just Bumble McRumble, but then
spelled his name wrong, kid.
What is that?
You fucking spelled his name wrong, you fucking dick.
What did I name it?
McRumble. His name was McCrumble.
No, I put McCrumble. Did it just generate it?
No, it says Bumble McRumble at the top.
MC Rumble.
MC Rumble.
MC Rumble in the house. And rumble
And
up
his
those
name is
bass.
MC Crumble. Two C's.
I've been saying Bumble McCrumble though.
It's all right.
It's totally fine.
Quit gaslighting.
I don't. It's not. I was just giving you shit for no reason.
Can I had ChatGPT. I said, come up with some titles of new Goosebumps books.
Oh shit!
Oh man!
I just want to share a few of my favorites.
Yeah.
The monster under the bed. ... is real.
Oh,
The curse of the talking mustache.
oh my gosh!
The boy who could turn into a potted plant. And my absolute favorite. I just like to think of what the fuck this image would be. The boy who could fly ... but shouldn't have.
William Icarus did?
That's so good.
Oh, that's great.
Oh man.
Ugh.
Okay, now I'm gonna tell it. Write chapter 5 of one of those titles.
Okay.
Write chapter 5 of The Ghostly Guacamole of Gloom.
Ooh.
I love the author's pen names that keeps generating.
Chapter 5. As soon as the bell rang, signaling the start of lunchtime, Cody raced out of the classroom and into the cafeteria. His mouth watered at the thought of the fresh burritos the cafeteria was serving that day. But when he reached the front of the line, he noticed something strange. The guacamole, usually vibrant green, was now a sickly shade of gray. Cody wrinkled his nose in disgust. "What's wrong with the guacamole?" he asked the cafeteria worker. The woman just shrugged. "I don't know. It came like that this morning." Cody grabbed a small spoonful and tasted it. It was the worst guacamole he'd ever had. He swallowed it down and shuddered. Suddenly, he noticed something moving in the bowl. At first, he thought it was just a chunk of avocado, but as he looked closer, he saw that it was a ghostly hand reaching up from the depths of the guacamole. Cody's heart raced as he watched the ghostly hand grasp at the air, trying to pull itself out of the bowl. But as more and more ghostly hands emerged from the guacamole, Cody realized that he was in serious trouble.
I have another one that I want maybe Wilson to read, but it's the Werner Herzog is in my bed. But I couldn't. It didn't let me do in my bed, so I put in a bed.
Oh, that's
It was saying no, that's naughty. So I just
you can't.
I put in a bed.
In a bed.
So it's just Werner Herzog in a bed.
It's like using Lily and Max.
I'm just reading the rest of that chapter of the guacamole. it just kind of continues like, oh, the ghostly hands are coming up, and they develop into like skeletal things, and he's frozen in place, and he blacks out. When he wakes up, he's got his arm in a bandage in the school's nurse's office, and the nurse tells him that he fainted, and he's like, man, that was crazy. I was seeing ghostly skeletons and everything that was happening. And she's like, oh, you probably just had a bad dream, dear. And then as he's walking out of the nurse's office, he feels the ghostly presence of skeletons following him. And it's like, he'll never fucking escape the curse of the guacamole.
Such a Goosebumps ending.
It is.
Yeah.
All right, I posted it for you. It's down
All right.
there. Just this image of Werner Herzog in the bed and the kids standing on the bed.
It's so good.
Looking at him.
All right.
Yeah, whoever wants to do this one, it's fine.
In this middle grade mystery novel, 13-year-old Max finds a strange old bed at a yard sale that seems to have a strange power over anyone who lies on it. When Max lies down on the bed, he finds himself overwhelmed with a feeling of depression and an unexpected sense of insight into his own life and the world around him. As Max struggles to understand the strange power of the bed, he discovers that the bed is haunted by the ghost of legendary filmmaker Werner Herzog. Herzog, who was known for his introspective films, seems to be using the bed to communicate with Max, offering him a unique perspective on life and the human condition. However, Max soon realizes that the bed's powers is not just limited to him. Others who have slept on the bed have been driven to depression and despair, leading to dangerous and even deadly consequences. With the help of his best friend Zoe and the ghost of Werner Herzog, Max embarks on a quest to uncover the true nature of the bed and stop it from harming anyone else. Along the way, they encounter a host of strange and terrifying creatures, as well as unexpected allies who offer their own unique insights and perspectives. In Werner Herzog in a Bed, author J.T. Nelson delivers a thought-provoking and insightful adventure that will challenge readers to think about the world around them in new and unexpected ways. With its mix of mystery, humor, and introspection, the book is perfect for young readers who enjoy stories that are both spooky and thought-provoking.
Wow.
That's so good.
It is, isn't it?
I love that the bed just makes you feel like fucking Werner Herzog movies.
Oh my god.
Just depressed and having unexpected sense of insight to life and the world around you.
You gotta read this. Oh my gosh, this is good. I think, oh man. All right, chapter 7 of one of those images up there. The Day It Rained Rats.
Oh hell yeah,
Ooh.
dude.
This is good too. It develops nicely.
I'm excited. Rats.
I like Max as like the reoccurring character in all these too. It's fine.
Right?
It's fine.
Max and fucking Lily shows up too. All right. Chapter 7. Tommy and his friends ran through the deserted streets of their town, trying to find a place to hide from the rain of rats. Everywhere they looked, they saw nothing but rats. Rats! And more rats. As they turned the corner onto Main Street, Tommy spotted a small shop that looked like it might offer some refuge. Sign above the door read, Crazy Ralph's Curiosities and Oddities. Tommy didn't care how weird the shop looked. He just wanted to get out of the rain of rats. Pushed open the door and stepped inside, his friends following closely behind. The shop was dimly lit, and the air was thick with the smell of old books and musty antiques. Tommy shivered as he looked around, feeling like he had stepped into a different world. As they moved further into the shop, they noticed that there was someone standing behind the counter. It was an old man with wild white hair and a beard that reached down to his chest. He was wearing a long black coat that was covered in pockets. He was grinning at them with crooked yellow teeth. Welcome, welcome, my young friends, the old man said, his voice creaking like an old door. What brings you to Crazy Ralph's on such a rainy day? Tommy stepped forward. Trying to escape the rain of rats outside, he said. Do you have any ideas? Crazy Ralph chuckled. Yes, the rain of rats. I've seen it before. Follow me and I'll show you what to do. The old man led them through a maze of shelves and cabinets until they reached a door at the back of the shop. Pulled the key out of his pocket and unlocked it, gesturing for them to step inside. Tommy and his friends hesitated for a moment, but then they saw the rats starting to claw their way through the shop's front door.
Oh no.
They rushed inside and slammed the door shut behind them. Found themselves in a small room with walls made entirely of glass. Outside, the rain of rats continued to pour down, but the glass walls protected them from the onslaught. "This is my panic room," Crazy Ralph said. "I built it after the last time it rained rats. It's completely rat-proof, so you'll be safe in here until the storm passes." Tommy and his friends breathed a sigh of relief. They settled down on the floor of the panic room, feeling grateful to be out of harm's way. But as they sat there, they began to notice something strange. The room was starting to fill up with a strange mist. The air was growing thick and heavy. Tommy coughed, feeling like he was suffocating. "What's happening?" he gasped. Crazy Ralph just grinned, his eyes glinting with bad light. "Oh, don't worry, my young friends," he said. "You'll find out soon enough." And then the lights went out, plunging them into darkness. That was spooky, dude.
Dude,
What's Crazy Ralph gonna do to those kids?
They should like who would be Crazy Ralph? Like not like Toby Jones might be able to sell it well, but like who's a big crazy covered a big black coat covered in pockets?
That's a good question.
Like it does such a good job of painting the picture, and then it has that turn at the end. Like I want to know more. Who the fuck is Crazy Ralph?
Crazy Ralph just. At first, you're just like, "Ooh, this panic room sounds shady." He's just like, "That's all good. I got it the last time these fucking rats showed up." And then, like, everyone's like, "Oh, cool." And all of a sudden, he starts gassing them.
Well, and what if it was like, we start out the movie or whatever, and it starts raining rats. It's like, "Oh, this is fucking weird." But then Crazy Ralph lets it drop that it's happened before. It's like, wait, it happened before? What? You get further mystery there.
Crazy Ralph?
It turns out he pulls a Dracula, and at the end of the movie, he's just like made up of rats secretly.
Rats. Yeah. All right.
It's completely rat-proof, except for me.
Fucking bomblet, dude.
Yeah, bomblet.
All right. In the middle grade horror novel, Bomblet, 12-year-old Alice discovers a new breakfast restaurant in town that serves the most unique dish she's ever seen. The bomblet. An omelet that explodes when served. Alice is initially intrigued by the dish's novelty and the thrill of watching it explode, but she's soon realizing that something is not right. The restaurant's owner, Mr. Bumble, seems to be hiding a dark secret behind his friendly demeanor, and the bomblet's ingredients are far from ordinary. When Alice and her friends start to investigate, they uncover a sinister plot that goes beyond just the explosive omelet. Mr. Bumble is using his restaurant as a front for a nefarious scheme involving mind control and the manipulation of his customers' emotions. As Alice and her friends delve deeper into the mystery, they find themselves in grave danger and must use all their wits and courage to stop Mr. Bumble and his evil plan before it's too late. In Bomblet, author Sarah Jones delivers a suspenseful and thrilling adventure that will keep readers on the edge of their seats. With its mix of horror, humor, and mystery, the book is perfect for young readers who enjoy stories that are both chilling and entertaining. Fucking Bomblet, dude.
Let me get that bomblet. Let me get it hot, Denver style.
Will someone do Viking on the playground?
I want that thing blowing up on me.
I'll do that one next. I got the microwave coven one coming.
Oh, hell yeah. What's the actual Viking on the playground? That's what it's called. Microwave coven. God damn it.
Yeah, here it is, and a little surprise for you at the end.
Okay. In the middle grade horror novel, Microwave Coven, 12-year-old Lily, fucking Lily again, moves to a new town and discovers an unusual appliance in her kitchen. A microwave that's been passed down through generations of witches in her family. As Lily begins to experiment with the microwave, she discovers that it has magical properties and can be used to cast spells. She also learns that her family is part of a coven of witches who use the microwave to brew potions and perform spells. But when Lily and her friends start using the microwave to cast spells for fun, they accidentally unleash a powerful evil force that threatens to destroy everything in its path. As the dark magic takes hold, Lily and her friends realize they must use their newfound powers to stop the evil before it's too late. As the group delves deeper into the mystery, they uncover a long-buried family secret that reveals the true power of the microwave and the danger it poses if used irresponsibly. In Microwave Coven, author Eric Bradshaw delivers a thrilling and suspenseful adventure that will keep readers on the edge of their seats. With its mix of horror, humor, and magic, the book is perfect for young readers who enjoy stories that are both chilling and entertaining.
Oh,
What? What are you in about?
a good chapter of the Viking on the playground.
Oh, hell yeah, dude.
Hell yeah. I think you're gonna dig this, Eric.
Oh, I already know I'm going to, dude. I like discovering these as I'm reading them. It's great. I like discovering the twists and turns.
Yeah, I'm like just kind of very vaguely browsing them, so I'm also discovering them as you read them. It's fun.
Yeah.
I like it when you tell me a story, Papa Eric.
So, chapter 6 of Viking on the Playground. As soon as the Viking ship disappeared into thin air, the playground went back to its normal state. Kids were running around, laughing and playing as if nothing had happened. But for Alex, things were far from normal. He couldn't shake off the feeling that he had just witnessed something incredible. He kept replaying the image of the Viking ship disappearing over and over in his mind. He decided to talk to his best friend Max about what had happened. Goddamn Max. Max was a logical kid, always looking for scientific explanations for everything. Max, you won't believe what I just saw, Alex said as they sat on a bench under the tree. What did you see? Max asked, looking up from his book. I saw a Viking ship appear out of nowhere on the playground. Then it just vanished into thin air, Alex said, still trying to process what he had witnessed. Max raised his eyebrows. That sounds impossible, he said. There has to be a rational explanation for what you saw. Alex sighed. I know it sounds crazy, but I swear it happened, he said. I even talked to one of the Vikings on board. Max looked skeptical. Really? What did he say? He said that they were lost in time and that they needed our help to get back to their own time, Alex said. Max rolled his eyes. Okay, now you're just making things up, he said. Time travel is just science fiction. But Alex wasn't convinced. He knew what he had seen, and he couldn't shake off the feeling that something strange was going on. As they were talking, they heard a loud roar coming from the direction of the playground. They looked up and saw a group of kids huddled together, staring in terror at something in the distance. Curious, Alex and Max got up and walked over to see what was going on. As they approached, they saw a huge, fearsome-looking Viking standing in the middle of the playground. The Viking was at least 6 feet tall, with broad shoulders and a bushy red beard. He was wearing a horned helmet, carrying a giant axe in one hand. Alex and Max froze in their tracks, unsure of what to do. The Viking looked straight at them, his eyes narrowing. Where'd it go? Where'd it go? A second. You there, he bellowed. Are you the ones who can help us get back to our own time? Alex and Max exchanged a look. It seemed that the Vikings really were lost in time. They needed their help. But how were they supposed to help them get back to their own time? As soon as the Viking ship landed on the playground, Danny and his classmates couldn't wait to explore it.
This is
Different chapter 6?
Version 2, chapter 6.
Version
But
2.
This one has a fucking spicy ass twist.
Hell yeah. So I enjoyed version 1. Now we go chapter 6, version 2.
Yeah.
As soon as the Viking ship landed on the playground, Danny and his classmates couldn't wait to explore it. Ship looked like it was made of real wood and had intricate carvings all over it. Danny was amazed that something so ancient and cool looking had appeared right in their schoolyard. But as Danny stepped closer to the ship, he noticed something strange. The air around it was cold and misty, and he could hear faint whispers in the wind. Guys, do you hear that? He asked his friends, who were just as awestruck as he was. Hear what? Asked his friend Jake, who was examining the ship's mast. The whispers, Danny replied, shivering. Sounds like Viking ghosts. His friends laughed nervously. Don't be ridiculous, Danny, said his friend Lily. There's no such thing as Viking ghosts. But as they continued to explore the ship, strange things started to happen. Danny heard footsteps on the deck above him. But when he looked up, there was no one there. Lily's hair was tugged by an unseen force, and Jake's backpack suddenly flew off his back and landed on the ground. Okay, this is getting too weird, said Danny. We should probably leave. But just as they were about to exit the ship, they heard a loud, guttural growling sound. Danny felt a chill run down his spine. This was no ghostly whisper. And then, out of nowhere, a huge Viking warrior appeared before them. He wore a horned helmet, carried a massive battle axe, and had a fierce expression on his face. Who dares board my ship? He roared. Danny and his friends were frozen in fear. They had never seen anything like this before. It was like they had stepped back in time. But then, to their surprise, the Viking warrior suddenly grinned and lowered his axe. I'm just messing with you, he said, chuckling. I'm actually a hologram. The ship is part of a Viking history exhibit that's traveling around the country.
What?
Danny and his friends breathed a sigh of relief, feeling foolish for being scared by a hologram. But as they stepped off the ship and onto the playground, couldn't help but feel like they had just been on a wild adventure through time.
Good Scooby-Doo ending there.
Yeah, right?
It's like going to one of the haunted court mazes. Like, nah, I'm just messing with you. Have fun.
Okay, I just did a synopsis of that,
All right.
but based more on the tiny Viking on the playground.
In the middle grade horror novel, Viking on the Playground, a group of kids at a local elementary school find themselves terrorized by an unusual and unexpected foe, a small Viking. The Viking, who appears to be only a few inches tall, has taken up residence in the school playground and seems determined to make the kids' recess time as difficult as possible. He steals snacks, vandalizes equipment, and even trips kids as they play games, all while laughing maniacally at their misfortune. At first, the kids think it's all just a prank or a silly game, but as the Viking's mischief becomes increasingly dangerous, they realize they're dealing with something much more sinister. As they try to figure out how to stop the Viking and protect themselves and their classmates, they uncover a dark secret that explains the Viking's presence on the playground, his motivations for tormenting them. As the danger intensifies and the Viking's tricks become more deadly, the kids must band together and use their wits and courage to defeat the Viking, put an end to his reign of terror. In Viking on the Playground, author Sarah Johnson delivers a suspenseful and thrilling story that will keep young readers on the edge of their seats. With its mix of horror, humor, and mystery, the book is perfect for fans of the Goosebumps series who enjoy stories that are both scary and fun. That sounds fun.
That sounds like a fun book. I would read that. Just this little mischievous little Viking fucker.
This little fucker, yeah.
Just tripping kids and laughing and just doing it. It's like, what's happening? Why is this happening?
What you got there, Wilson?
I'm just having it make more. I'm having it make more book titles, but then I'm telling it, okay, can you make them make less sense?
Right.
They're really interesting. The Sinister Sausage Symphony.
Wow.
The otherworldly octopus overload.
Wow.
Phantom Pickle Parade. That's mine. I like that one.
Phantom Pickle Parade's great.
Eerie Elevator to Eggplant Enigma. Terrifying Tuba Tango.
Spooky spatula of spleen.
Grand Chronicles of Cryptic Castle.
This alliteration is just...
Yeah, the alliteration on these are always creepy crayon chronicles.
Ghoulish glue gun of glee.
The otherworldly octopus overload.
Yeah. If there was ever a band that was gonna do these like big concept comedy sci-fi albums, these would be good titles for their albums.
Yeah. I'm gonna have it generate me the ghoulish glue gun of glee.
Ghoulish glue gun of glee.
No. This one, yes. Oh, interesting. All right, this is the Ghoulish Glue Gun of Glee. I'm just going to read it. In this middle grade horror novel, The Ghoulish Glue Gun of Glee, a group of kids at a local summer camp find themselves up against an unusual and terrifying threat. When a strange new camp counselor named Mr. Glee arrives on the scene with his unusual ghoulish glue gun, the kids are both fascinated and frightened by his strange contraption. But when they start to notice that the glue is taking on a life of its own, they realize that Mr. Glee's glue gun is far more dangerous than they ever could have imagined. As the glue begins to trap campers and counselors alike, the kids must work together to figure out how to stop Mr. Glee and his deadly weapon before it's too late. But with the glue spreading rapidly and Mr. Glee seeming to always be one step ahead, the task seems nearly impossible. As the danger intensifies and the glue gun's power becomes more unpredictable, the kids must face their fears and use their wits and courage to defeat Mr. Glee and put an end to his reign of terror. I love just putting these fuckers' reign of terror to an end. That's like everything. In The Ghoulish Glue Gun of Glee, author Tom Smith delivers a suspenseful and thrilling story that will keep readers on the edge of their seats. Mix of humor and horror and mystery. The book is perfect for Goosebumps people and both scary and fun. Yeah, I like the idea that it's Mr. Glee's glue gun and not just like a glue gun of Glee where it's like just a title that it just receives. It's just this guy's gun.
Yeah. So I had it come, I asked it based on everything that we've discussed so far. Can you come up with your own original Goosebumps title and story? And this is what it did. The title is The Shadow in the Suburbs.
Interesting.
I'll just read this one if I may.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
When 10-year-old twins Emma and Ethan move to a new house in the suburbs, they're excited to start exploring their new neighborhood. But as they start to meet their new neighbors, they realize that something strange is going on. Every night, they see a shadowy figure lurking in the streets, moving from house to house. At first, Emma and Ethan think it's just a burglar or a prankster. But as they get closer to solving the mystery, they realize that the shadow is something much more sinister. It seems to be following them everywhere they go, and their new neighbors act like they're afraid of it. One day, Emma and Ethan decide to follow the shadow to see where it's going. They end up at an abandoned house at the edge of the neighborhood. The shadow disappears inside, and the twins are hesitant to follow. But curiosity gets the best of them, and they venture inside. What they find is a secret laboratory filled with strange machines and experiments. And in the center of the room is a large glowing orb pulsing with energy. Suddenly, the shadow appears out of nowhere, revealing itself to be a dark creature made entirely of shadows. Surprise, surprise. It speaks to the twins, telling them that it needs their help to escape the laboratory and find a new home. Emma and Ethan are torn. Should they help the shadow creature or try to stop it from causing more harm? And as they struggle with their decision, they realize that they may be in over their heads. The shadow creature has powers beyond their understanding, and they may not be able to control what happens next. The Shadow in the Suburbs is a chilling tale of mystery, adventure, and the power of the unknown. Will Emma and Ethan be able to save their neighborhood from the shadow creature's dark influence, or will they become its next victims?
I like it.
So
Yeah.
that is all props to ChatGPT. That's 100% it.
This is one, just to top everything out for the night, I have this one based on everything that I've made it generate, and it turned into a bizarre romp. So go ahead and read it, Bradshaw, to end the night here.
In the middle grade horror novel, The Curse of the Viking Witch's Glue Gun, a group of kids at a local summer camp find themselves up against an unusual and terrifying threat. When a strange new camp counselor named Mr. Glee arrives on the scene with his unusual ghoulish glue gun, the kids are both fascinated and frightened by his strange contraption. But when they start to notice that the glue is taking on a life of its own, they realize that Mr. Glee's glue gun is far more dangerous than they ever could have imagined. As the glue begins to trap campers and counselors alike, kids must work together to figure out how to stop Mr. Glee and his deadly weapon before it's too late. With the glue spreading rapidly and Mr. Glee seeming to always be one step ahead, the task seems nearly impossible. To make matters worse, a small pink puffy monster named Bumble McRumble arrives on the scene, causing chaos and destruction wherever it goes. Bumble has the power to explode anything it touches, and the kids soon find themselves in a race against time to stop the monster before it destroys everything in its path. But that's not all. Suddenly, clams start raining from the sky, causing confusion and panic among the campers. And as if that weren't enough, Werner Herzog, the famous film director, appears in one of the campers' beds, offering cryptic advice and insight. As the danger intensifies and the glue gun's powers become more unpredictable, the kids must face their fears and use their wits and courage to defeat Mr. Glee, Bumble McRumble, the Clam Downpour, and Werner Herzog himself.
Oh no.
But can they do it before it's too late? In The Curse of the Viking Witch's Glue Gun, author Jane Smith delivers a surreal and thrilling story that will keep young readers on the edge of their seats. This mix of horror, humor, and absurdity, the book is perfect for fans of the Goosebumps series who enjoy stories that are both scary and bizarre. Jesus Christ, dude, that's fucking Mr. Glee, Bumble McRumble, the Clam Downpour, and Werner Herzog. Shit.
Jesus.
That was awesome.
That was great. And yeah, hopefully we can do more of these, because these are actually really interesting. Especially with the visual aid to go with it. I kind of want to make an AI generate some like of the ones that Wilson just posted. Like I want to see what those would look like in visual form. So
right.
Maybe we should do that next.
Oh.